So Norristown will take the ball regardless of who it's on. It was actually on number 33, Marcus Healy. So here's Graham now, gets the ball too. James Ramsey, now here's Briggs to Graham, who missed the three. Dalton Pepper was on the floor, and now Pepper has it. Tried a fancy dribble, couldn't get it, and now is tripped by Russell Graham, and he's on the ground being helped up by his teammates right now. Dalton Pepper appears to be fine. So they call the foul on Russell Graham. It's just his first. Khalif Wyatt remains on the bench with 2. He hasn't seen action since early in the first quarter with that foul trouble, but Norristown's been successful without him. They've gone to Russell Graham, who's got 9, James Ramsey, who has 5 points, and now here's Dalton Pepper to shoot 2, shoot 1 and 1, as Norristown's now in the penalty. He missed the front end, so Norristown gets the ball after the rebound. Dalton Pepper not having a good quarter at all. His team hasn't scored in it. And here's Ramsey fighting, and they call a foul on Jesse Krasna, an unnecessary foul. But they still have 2 fouls to give, so no major damage for Pennsbury. A minute and change left to go in the half. Russell Graham with the ball, gets it to Savage, who finds Shippen. Shippen looks to pass, takes a dribble, and then gets it to Briggs. Hand off to Paul Savage. Paul Savage puts it up, doesn't get it. And the rebound for Justin Bruton. Paul Savage getting playing time because of Khalif Wyatt's foul trouble. Hopefully we'll see more of Khalif in the second half, and when we do, hopefully he can find his shot, because even for the brief time he was in the game, his shots were not falling. A deep 3 for Pepper does not go. It wasn't close once again. Briggs tried to save it, did so right to Pennsbury. Here's Krasma. 26 seconds left. He goes over to Dalton Pepper. He has not been efficient from the field. Despite his 8 points, he has a bunch of misses to go along with it, and that's a big reason his team is down 7. Here's a 3 hoisted, no good by Wolf, put back up, blocked away, but they call another foul. So with just 3 ticks left in the half, Justin Bruton will go to the line for 2 shots. Justin Bruton has 2 points in the game. He'll try to add to that from the line. He puts it up and puts it in. So Pennsbury finally able to get on the board in this second quarter. And they are down by 6 points with 3 seconds left to go in this half. It's a 21-15 ball game. Justin Bruton will take a second free throw. Then we'll see if Norristown can get off some kind of a long 3 at the buzzer. First though, Bruton's free throw, and it is no good. The rebound out of bounds off of Eddie DeRugaris. So, oh no, let's see, the refs are gonna discuss this call. Let's see who they give the ball to. Now they're gonna give it to Pennsbury. So the ref changes his call. And now 2 seconds left. But Pennsbury inbounding from their baseline, they'll have a chance to get off a decent shot. Here's Pepper, puts it up for 3 from the baseline, did not get it at the buzzer. So at the end of one half, it is a 21-15 Norristown lead. Khalif Wyatt, 0 points in the half, struggled in the first quarter, spent the entire second quarter on the bench in foul trouble. Russell Graham has picked up the slack. He's got 9 points to lead all scorers. Dalton Pepper with 8 for the Pennsbury Falcons. We'll be back after a short halftime intermission. I'm Mark Haldinsky. You're watching NASD TV. Once again, your score at the intermission is Norristown 21, Pennsbury 15. Welcome back to the second half, everybody, where your Norristown Eagles lead the Pennsbury Falcons by a score of 21-15. in the first half. Dalton Pepper with a solid scoring total of 8 points, but when you take as many shots as he did in the first half, you better score 8 points. He begins the quarter with the basketball. His Pennsbury Falcons scored just 1 point in the second quarter. Here's Pepper now, guarded on the perimeter by Watson. Here's a pass over to Eddie DeRogaris, covered by Graham, stripped by Graham, and they gave the ball to Norristown. It went off of Eddie DeRogaris' foot. And Norristown winning the rebounding battle in that first half, and it's no surprise with athletic guys like Quentin Watson and Maurice Briggs manning that center position. Here is James Ramsey. Goes to Khalif Wyatt, who's into the game for the first time since the first quarter. He was in foul trouble. He had 2 early ones. Here's Graham. Goes to Ramsey. Takes it inside, puts it up, tried to draw the foul, couldn't get it. Mayer not able to grab that rebound. Here's Pepper. Pennsbury has numbers. Pepper stays, keeps it himself. And they call a foul on the play and a goaltend. That is indeed the call. Quentin Watson swatted that ball out of the air on its way down. So Dalton Pepper gets the basket and a free throw. Dalton Pepper puts it up and he leaves it way short. Here comes the Eagles. Russell Graham finds James Ramsey. Back to Wyatt. Fakes a 3. Distributes to Mayer, who gets a wide open look. Couldn't get it though. Offensive rebound for James Ramsey. Lost it, but they call a foul on Pennsbury. We played just over 1 minute in the second half. Norristown 21, Pennsbury 17 here on NASD TV. I'm Mark Kolodinsky bringing you the action tonight. And James Ramsey's going to shoot a pair. James Ramsey's had a tremendous scoring game in Norristown's most recent playoff victory as he misses the first free throw. He scored 16 points in that game, well above his regular season average of 6.5. The second of 2 for James Ramsey is up and no good again, but a rebound tapped around. Who wants it? The ball ends up into the hands of Pennsbury. Here's Eddie DeRogaris now. Eddie averaging exactly 12 points per game in the 3 games we've played in the District 1 playoffs thus far. Here he is, stopping and popping. The mid-range 2 doesn't go. The rebound swatted into the hands of James Ramsey. Here comes the Eagles with numbers, but now they'll slow it down as Ramsey gets it back to Mayer. Now here's Graham. Launches for 2. It's no good. It's tipped around, though, and Graham comes up with it. His jersey was grabbed, and there's no call. Terrible non-call by the officials there. And now there's a foul inside. And the Eagles will inbound from their baseline. So the refs missed the call of the jersey grab against Graham, but they call another one after it. Here is Sheldon Mayer. He loses the ball, and it goes out of bounds off of Justin Bruthen, who tried to pick it up after Sheldon Mayer lost it. Dalton Pepper now has 10 points in this game. And for a guy who averages 22.5 per game, it's not a tremendous total. Here is Ramsey now to Mayer. Drives. Has nowhere to go, though, so pulls it back out. And now finds Graham, or that's actually Smart, now Graham, to Ramsey. He goes to Mayer, now to Graham. The Eagles working it around, taking their time. And Russell Graham goes up for the shot and draws the foul. I believe this is a shooting foul, so Russell Graham's going to go to the line for a pair of free throws. Graham scored just 2 points in the second quarter, but scored 7 in the first. And he has been Norristown's #1 scorer today. That pass is intercepted by Kazna. Fakes, puts it up. Does not get the roll, but Quentin Watson did commit the foul. So Jesse Krasna is going to go to the line for 2. Dalton Pepper receives instruction from his coach, Frank Sciola. as his teammate Jesse Krasna shoots a pair of free throws. Maurice Briggs is going to come into the game after this free throw by Krasna, which is good. Quentin Watson will probably come out for him, and that is indeed the case. Well, Pennsbury has scored all 3 second half points in this game thus far. Their deficit is now 3. Here's Krasna, who tried to make it a 2-point game. It's up and good. So the Pennsbury Falcons come out of the locker room strong and now apply some backcourt pressure for Graham and Mayer. Now here's Graham in the front court. Smart passes up a 3, goes to Mayer. He finds Graham with a fake. Now back out to Mayer, who takes the 3. It's no good. A nice look by Graham to get his teammate Sheldon Mayer an open shot, but Sheldon not able to get it to fall this time. Here is Jesse Krasna. Gets a screen from Bruton. And now the ball is in the hands of Dalton Pepper. James Ramsey gets a lot of credit for the off night that he's been having thus far. But right as I say that, he drains a 3 and is up to 13 points. And his shot selection, as I mentioned, was questionable in the first half. But so far in this quarter, he is 1 of 1 from the field, actually, and then his other 2 points came from the line. But his long 3, which was set up beautifully on a pick and pop, if you will, and it gave Pennsbury a 22-21 lead. They are on an 8-0 run right now since halftime. They come out with DeRogatis, Krasna, Bruton, Marcus Healy, and Dalton Pepper. That is their starting 5. Norristown will come out with Sheldon Mayer, Russell Graham, James Ramsey, Vontae Shippen, and Khalif Wyatt. The Pennsbury crowd is now in full throat as their team has scored the last 8 points in this game, and the only 8 points of this half. Here's Mayer. Through a couple defenders, lost the ball. It's pushed ahead, but Graham was there. Now here's Wyatt. He'll drive, puts it up. Don't count the shot. The foul is against Pennsbury, so an inbound for Wyatt and company. The Pennsbury Falcons appeared to have a steal, but instead got the ball to Russell Graham. The Eagles then had an advantage on the other end as the Pennsbury Falcons were trying to run in transition as Russell Graham gets a layup. But Khalif Wyatt was unable to make anything out of it. He was just able to draw the foul on the floor. So here's Pepper bringing the ball up for the Falcons. And that's actually Eddie DeRogatis. Here's Krasna, back to DeRogatis. He drives all the way to the basket, put up a wild floater, it didn't go. Vontae Shippen was fouled before he made that outlet pass. So Vontae Shippen, who averaged 3.1 points per game in the regular season, with a good play there to fight that rebound away, and Norristown able to come up with the ball, and we're able to draw a foul on Justin Bruton. Here's Russell Graham. Goes to Mayer. Skip pass over to Ramsey, and now all the way across to Graham, who drives, puts it up. Offensive foul. So Russell Graham comes flying in. He has looked to drive quite often in the second half. And he'll be still at 11 points after he was charged with the charge. That's a second on Russell Graham. Of course, Wyatt also has 2. A good job by him, though, to play smart so far this half and not pick up a third. That would be big trouble for him as well as his team. They find Krasna on the inbound pass to bring it up. It's a 26-23 game. Pennsbury leads. 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Krasna gets out of the double team. Finds Brad Fisher. Now Krasna into the hands of Dalton Pepper. Smart decision not to put up that three. That's the kind of shots that got him in trouble in the first half. Here he is again now, defended by Ramsey. Pepper gets by him. Wild pass, not close to its intended target, whoever that may be. Here's Wyatt now in transition. Drives, puts it up and in. Khalif Wyatt's first point of the game. And if I were to tell you that Khalif Wyatt were to score his first 2 points in the third quarter, late in the third quarter at that, would you believe that we'd be talking about the Norristown Eagles leading the game? Long three by Pepper, it's no good. The rebound for Russell Graham, scoops it up. Eagles with numbers. Here's Wyatt, puts it up, doesn't get it. Rebound Ramsey, puts it up and in. So it's a 27-22 game. There was a scoreboard error just moments ago when we told you Pennsbury had 25. The score is indeed 27-22 Eagles. Nice dish to Brown, but before the shot, he walked with the basketball. He was set up nicely, but wasted that good pass with a traveling violation. With that, he will leave the game. And the Eagles will bring it up. Up by 5 with 2 minutes left in the quarter. Wyatt puts it up and in. Khalif Wyatt now with 4 points in the last half minute. And a timeout is called by the Pennsbury Falcons, and the Norristown side of this building is feeling it now as they are on an 8-0 run of their own. So the teams trade 8-0 runs at the beginning of this half. And it's once again a 7-point advantage for the Norristown Eagles. Dalton Pepper has chosen his shots more carefully in this quarter. The problem is he has to shoulder such a large portion of the Pennsbury offensive load because his teammates around him aren't as good as some other teams, such as a Norristown, for example, who has a great supporting cast for their star, Khalif Wyatt. And when one guy is forced to take a ton of shots, the defense can focus in on him and force it to take some bad shots. That's what you've seen with Dalton Pepper, especially in the first half of this game, where he'd just be chucking up long threes, putting up shots when he's in a double team, and that's no way to win a basketball game. Meanwhile, Norristown is showing that they're the opposite. Khalif Wyatt has not scored until 2:25 left in the third quarter, yet they still lead. He only has 4 points, but Norristown with such great players, all 5 of their guys on the floor are talented at any given time. Dalton Pepper missed the shot, fought for the rebound, and it ends up in a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Norristown, so Dalton Pepper gets another miss and could not come away with his own miss. Here comes the Eagles breaking some backcourt pressure. Wide open is Watson under the basket. Put it up and in, tried to dunk it. Didn't get the strong finish, but it's still worth 2 points. Quentin Watson, who's averaging 6.3 per game in the playoffs, scores his first points of the game as the Pennsbury Falcons and Eddie DeRugaris are called for the traveling violation. He picked up his dribble, took 2 steps, then took the hop step. And that's 4 steps. That's way too many. Traveling violation. 1:15 left to go in the third quarter. 31-22, Eagles on top. Here's Watson. Puts it up and could not get it. The rebound from Mayer. Great hustle to come away with it. Was blocked but drew a foul. So Sheldon Mayer got a huge hustle steal earlier in the first half. He's gotten some rebounds by being in the right place at the right time. That time, a great job of fighting for it and saving the possession for the Eagles. And now here he is at the line. Sheldon Mayer not as strong from the line as one would like their starting point guard to be, as he's long on the first. A pair of substitutions for Pennsbury as they bring in Marcus Healy and Justin Bruton. Well, Well, Norristown was able to win the first half of this game, 21-15, and that was for a large part of the game without Khalif Wyatt, as he was in foul trouble, and even when he was in the game, he wasn't at his best. Now, with Wyatt in the game, they've extended their lead to 9 points. Mayer missed the second free throw on the other end, and now under a minute to go for Pennsbury to try to get something off. Here is Jesse Krasnick. Gets it to Healy. This is actually Dalton Pepper. He rises up. Had it deflected by Watson. Here comes the Eagles with numbers. Wyatt puts it up and puts it in. Khalif Wyatt now has 6. The Eagles looked good without Wyatt. They look a lot better with him. They now lead 33-22. This pass over to Krasma. He's guarded by Mayer. 10 seconds left to go in the quarter. Krasna puts it up and does not get it, but he's going to go to the line. Jesse Krasna is averaging 6.3 points per game in the playoffs thus far. Had 7 in Pennsbury's last game, which was a 19-point victory over Ridley. The Krasna free throw was good, and Pennsbury also were able to beat Central Bucks East, Chichester, and of course, as I mentioned, Ridley. That's their road to here, where they are now. But if they don't do something quick, their road will end right here at William Tennant High to a Norristown Eagles team that's seeded second and 27-0 on the season, including the playoffs. Krasna hit a pair, so it's now a 9-point lead for the Eagles. They have 5 seconds to try to get off a shot. Smart needs to hurry up and get the ball across. They wasted way too much time. Graham banked a half-court shot wide. The crowd on their feet to salute their Norristown Eagles as they come onto the floor for the fourth quarter. They inbound to Eddie DeRugaris. Chance of defense from the crowd. Here's DeRugaris. Lost it. Dalton Pepper threw his hands. The Eagles in transition. Graham up. No good. Put back. No good. Third chance opportunity for the Eagles. It's good. Russell Graham. Russell Graham now ties Dalton Pepper with a game-high 13 points. We've played half a minute in the fourth quarter. The Eagles with an 11-point lead. Here's Pepper. Goes to Krasman. A lot of people questioned Norristown being seeded higher than Pennsbury. Of course, Pennsbury the 3 seed, Norristown the 2 seed. Of course, Pennsbury does have one loss. It was to a Punthem City team in Oklahoma, a powerhouse out there. But the committee went ahead and put Norristown at the 2 seed, and right now we can see why. Sheldon Mayer got a steal, but there was a foul before he did so. 7 minutes and 4 seconds left to go in this game. Norristown needs to hang on to an 11-point lead. Here is Jesse Krasna to inbound the basketball. They get it to DeRugaris, who pumps for 3. Now try to get a pass inside and does. Getting fouled was Justin Bruton, so he'll take his 3rd trip of the night to the line. We've played 1 minute in the fourth quarter. Norristown still with the 35-24 lead, and Bruton will take 2 shots after he was fouled in the paint under the basket. Not a bad foul. He was very close to the basket. He's good down there, and his first free throw is no good. He's not the greatest free throw shooter, which is another reason that is a nice foul. Khalif Wyatt was called for the foul, though. It's his 4th. So he is in some serious foul trouble now. 1 away from being tossed. Paul Savage into the game in his place. The free throw by Bruton is good, so he makes 1 of 2. It's a 10-point game. The Pennsbury Falcons in some trouble. Here is Sheldon Mayer getting it to Graham. trying to get by some backcourt pressure, and in doing so, was called for a dribble violation. So that draws some cheers from the Pennsbury supporting section of this crowd. Both sides of this gym, the Pennsbury and the Norristown side, both felt the capacity. Extra seats put on an upper level slightly above the floor over near the basket on the left. An amazing crowd has come out to see two top 10 teams in Pennsylvania square off, and right now Norristown has gotten the better of Pennsbury. 35-25 is the score. Here is Eddie DeRigueris. There's a whistle here, and let's see what it is. James Ramsey goes over to the bench. So they let Norristown make the late substitution. Jared Smart replaces Ramsey. And we will pick up the action. Justin Bruton also wants to check in for Pennsbury, so one more sub. And now we're finally ready to pick back up the action. Here is DeRigueris. Pennsbury needs to start making shots if they want to win this game. They've been held to just 25 points so far. This shot's put up and off the bottom of the rim for DeRigueris. Diving attempt to save it, but it's a fruitless attempt, and Norristown will take the ball. If you're Norristown here, there's no reason to hurry up. You can take your time and try to run a little bit of clock at this point. The 10-point lead's not quite safe. Here's Graham out to Mayer. He goes over to Graham. Finds Briggs, who now goes to Mayer. Now Graham. He will drive. Puts it up in the lane, missed it. His own rebound. The putback was no good, an acrobatic try. Now here comes Pennsbury. Let's see if they try to run. Norristown very quick in getting back. Norristown's athleticism is far superior to Pennsbury's. And you can see it right there. You can see it all throughout this game as they have the 10-point lead. Here's DeRigueris. Nearly fell. Now gets it back, puts it up in the lane, and got it. Eddie DeRigueris, that's just his first basket of the game. He's got 2 points. Here's Sheldon Mayer. And the Eagles bench calls a timeout, so they'll talk things over. It's just an 8-point game now. The lead far from safe, but the Eagles have played extremely well today. They've defended Dalton Pepper adequately. He has 13 points, but he has not been extremely efficient. His other players have not gotten a lot of shots, so Dalton Pepper's 13 points is just about half of his team's 27. Dalton Pepper's normally going to be about half of his offense, which is okay when you're scoring 30. But if you're only scoring 13 and you're 50% of your offense because you take 50% of the shots, it's not going to be good enough for a W. A lot of credit to James Ramsey and Mike Evans, the Norristown coaching staff. I even saw Quentin Watson out defending him at one point. Great job defending him thus far. Here's a pass to Ramsey from Mayer. Now, Wyatt, just 4 points in the game for him, actually 6 now. And he's now called here for a traveling violation. And the inbound pass for Pennsbury goes to Dalton Pepper. Now, of course, both of these teams already have a state bracket spot guaranteed. As Dalton Pepper puts up a shot, it's no good. The putback's also no good. And Wyatt gets a rebound. But the winner of this game, again, goes to the District 1 championship. The 12 district winners will be automatically higher seeded than the at-large bids, as Russell Graham goes in and draws a foul. So the loser of this game still goes to the state bracket, but they will be seeded lower than the winner, and that will give them a tougher schedule in states. Russell Graham puts up the free throw and makes it. Russell Graham averaging 10.7 points per game during the playoffs. Khalif Wyatt, of course, has scored almost all